Every Games Workshop, and I think this one is a good example of it too, specifically, there is such a diverse crowd, let alone age groups. We'll get anybody playing from 8 years old to 60. The great thing with that is, even though there's that age gap, you have a common bond because you either have hobby advice that you can pass on to different people. I've seen 12-year-olds give 45-year-olds painting advice, and it's really, really good to see that. It plays a big part in just being real, like talking to real people. There's different games and things you can play, over the internet or computers, but there is something about this that it's just, because it's real and in person, it's very much more about, rapport and talking to people and meeting people.
Swimming without feeling
There,
the blue
indicator we like to have reserved. Just having her on weekends with me. She's seen the little models. Most of the armies that I usually do involve, she likes all the little girls. And I've always encouraged her as far as creativity, so I've never stopped her from trying something. So some of the smaller stuff I've had her do, which is called dry brushing. She can't prime because she, why?
Well, sometimes,
Yeah, well, because the cans are big.
Sure.
But the dry brushing part is essentially just, as far as the paint part, it's just, I don't even show that it's dry brush. Simple process.
Yep.
The model's primed black already.
Yep.
You're taking as minimum amount of paint as possible and just brushing it over there. So a lot of the metals that are done on the army itself is what this particular army she's actually already done.
She painted those.
Yes. So anything that's done in metals, which would be like the backpacks, the weapons, she actually did these for me.
swimming
These pieces I created from a combination of different boxes that are available at Games Workshop, and I used the different pieces in my collection to represent a piece of artwork. Right. In one of their books, there's several very good pieces of artwork that has to do with a specific section of Space Marines, and that's what I tried to represent. So they all have gold armor and they carry different weapons, so with a combination of different kits I was able to pull it off.
hands put in golden mittens, and I wonder, I wonder about the snow.
What brought you to this art form, this medium?
I've always liked role-playing, and I've really liked the fantasy setting, like medieval and like magic and everything. So one day my friend called me up and he said, I heard about this new place called Games Workshop. You want to come down and take a look at it with me? So I went down with them the next day, and the guys that worked here, they showed me a demo game, and I really liked it. So I decided to, start playing it. I don't paint too much,
Right.
but I really like playing the game itself.
This is actually the second thing I've ever painted in my entire life,
Okay.
which is why
You've done a heck of a job.
thank you.
It's a heck of a
That's
job.
why I'm so proud of it. Took me forever.
Yeah. And that's important though. That's what it's all about. What would you say to other youngsters who have an interest but not sure where to start?
Just come in and look at the wall and find a race of things that you like the look of, because you can't go wrong. You really can't go wrong with anything you choose. But if you want to make sure that you enjoy the hobby to its fullest potential, play something that you like how it looks, that you enjoy the backstory of, because that'll make, everything that you do with them more rich and exciting for you. For me, anyway.
Mittens, and I wonder.
Why do they surprise you that you have such a diverse age group coming in to enjoy this hobby?
At the core of it, I think there's still no matter what, it's a game, and I'd like to think, I know myself, like I'm always going to be a kid at heart, you know, and then games, of course, have been something that we just learned from day one. And unlike some games like tic-tac-toe, yeah, you're not going to call your buddy up and say, hey, Friday night, let's have a beer and play tic-tac-toe. But something like this, as long as there's a bond that you already have established anyway, and you know, you're not afraid of doing the paints and, you know, helping each other that way. And then that can be shared regardless, you know, if the kid's 12 years old, he likes to play games, and if he's 60 and hears he likes to play games. People will just walk in with their cases, and the game is no further away than just saying, you know, you see the case, like, hey, you want to get a game in?
The community as well, since we were talking a little bit about the diversity in the age groups, whether the person is 12 or 60, as the example I gave before, if a 20-year-old comes in here and he has no idea what anything is, that 12-year-old is going to be able to help him. The 60-year-old is going to be able to help him. They're going to know that at some point in their hobby career, they were this guy, so that they're very accepting to everything too. So I mean, the community 100% helps get new people in as well.
Wandering.